floor. There's no one that can match me.
Every fan, player, GM or whatever has a unique NBA story, and so do I. I'm DB97 and today I talk about my NBA story. I'm a Golden State fan and I'm no bandwagon fan, they actually annoy me. I'm no Warriors fan since 2017, 16 or 15. I'm actually a Warriors and Curry fan since 2009 and I know it sounds unrealistic, but hear me out. I didn't watch the NBA or any basketball before December of 2009. I only heard about Kobe Bryant, a bit about LeBron James, Dirk Nowitzki because he's from Germany, and some things about MJ. In December of 2009, I watched a game between Warriors and the Wizards. I was totally unbiased because I had no idea about the rules or anything about basketball. One of my best friends played basketball at that time and I watched one game of him, nothing more. I only knew that buckets count for 2 points, there is a 3-point line, then I knew something about double dribbling and the 24-second rule. I watched that game so I had something to talk about with him. I remember seeing 2 teams and 10 players I've never heard anything about. Gilbert Arenas dominated the whole game and dropped 45 points, but I wasn't really excited about him, and actually not about his team. The Warriors, they looked very promising, they had something about them, I can't even say what it was, and Stephen Curry dropped 27 points as well, and I loved him from the beginning. He was quick, agile, and had a good vision and shot. Later I watched some basketball here and there, but I wasn't really affected. I followed the NBA and heard about LeBron leaving Cleveland and going through hell. It was insane how hated he was. In the 2010-11 season I started watching more games and became a Monte Ellis supporter, but Curry was still my hero. Then Nowitzki murdered LeBron in the 2011 finals while he choked. I was happy for Dirk because he was German. He's the German hero of basketball. Everyone loves him here. The news about his ring came to Germany like a shockwave. We really are no basketball nation, but everyone wanted to be part of it. In the 2011 draft, I actually wanted to have Kemba Walker on the Warriors team after I saw what he did with UConn, and I wanted Curry on the shooting guard spot where we got Clay, and it looked like the better fit when the season started. I was even more into the NBA, and when I watched even more games, Monte Ellis was traded away out of nowhere. I was actually pissed about that and confused, but welcomed Bogut because we needed a consistent big man. Later that year I changed schools and there were some basketball fans, some serious basketball fans, and finally it was easier to stay up to date and I finally had some people to talk about the NBA with. I even found a girl a bit later who loved basketball, and so I was even more into it, and now I'm here and basketball is a huge part of my life. I also started watching games live before school regularly, after waking up at 4 AM. I know it sounds crazy, but here in Germany, that's the time when basketball comes. I also watched a 54-point game from Curry in the Madison Square Garden. The Knicks were and still are my second most liked team. I'm not exactly a fan, but I love Carmelo, and New York is my favorite city in the world, next to my hometown Cologne that is. However, Curry destroyed the Knicks almost single-handedly. Later in 2013, the Warriors had a really intense playoff matchup against the Denver Nuggets with Andre Iguodala, and all I remember from that time is that I wanted him on the Warriors. I wanted him because he was a missing piece for becoming even better. After the Nuggets lost, the Warriors really acquired him, and I was even seriously excited about the next 2K game for the very first time in my life because the team was ultra competitive. Iguodala fit the team well from the first moment and I loved him on the Warriors. Almost to a Stephen Curry level. I was so hyped after the game winner Iggy hit against OKC, and I went to school so happy. Later that season, I started getting hope for a better postseason as the Warriors clinched the 6th seed that season. In the first round, we had to play the Clippers, and I immediately knew it was over. I was surprised because of the first win, but actually when the blowout loss by 40 in game 2 came, I knew it was over. We lost in 7 games, and I was devastated by how close it was and that we lost against our biggest rival. I also need to say that I thought Mark Jackson was the perfect coach for my Warriors. And that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Steve Kerr was acquired after Mark Jackson was let go. I was sad, but everyone felt that Kerr wanted to make it even better. He was a rookie coach, but actually he deserved that chance. He made the Warriors look even more fun. He put Andre Iguodala on the bench, which seemed way too crazy to be real, but it should pay off later. The first season with him was when they broke so many franchise records. They won at least 16 consecutive home games, I think, had 286 threes from Curry, ended with 67 wins, and the season felt special, but not as special as the fact there was only 5 wins shy of the record. The Warriors had the first seed, but I still only had some hope to see them win it all. Didn't really believe it could happen, but in the end the Warriors were champions out of nowhere. I saw that I wasn't the only doubter. They were first seeded, but no one really thought they could become champions later. And even after that, I couldn't believe it. After the title, the only move that was made was that David Lee was given away, and I did not really understand why, but I knew at the same time there was time for Draymond Green to step it up even more. We won our first 24 games, when 15 was the record before that. It was crazy, and everyone knew the Warriors would later break the record of 72 wins. It became close towards the end, and they had a record of 72-9 before the last game, which I watched live, of course. It was against the Grizzlies and was a lot closer than I liked, but in the end it was kind of a safe victory. At the same time, I watched the last game of Kobe Bryant on a separate laptop. Both games were straight fire. Kobe had a huge influence on the game of basketball, which I also made clear in another video. And I could neither believe he dropped 60 nor that his career was over for good now. I also couldn't believe that the Warriors had their 73rd win and that Curry was not only the first to hit 300 threes, but also the first to hit 400 threes in one season. The postseason was crazy. The Warriors won 4-1 in the first 2 rounds against the Rockets and the Trailblazers respectively, and they only give up the 3rd game of each round. Then they played OKC, and I break OKC fans' hearts with this one again. The Thunder led 3-1, and I couldn't believe we would go out after 73 wins, but we still made it through with KD and Westbrook struggling in a never before seen way. After that, in the finals, we led 3-1 ourselves, and I felt right from the beginning that the Cavs would still win it. Draymond Green was suspended for Game 5 after a scene where not only he should have been suspended. Had he not been out of Game 5, we would have our 3-peat right now. But our best player had to sit out and the momentum switched sides for good. The rest is history, and the rest would actually tear my heart apart once more. I couldn't believe how far down the Warriors and us real fans fell. We had to go through all kinds of 3-1 jokes, and all that while we were still the best team in the NBA. In the offseason, I heard the news of KD considering to maybe join Golden State, and I only pictured it in my head, but didn't really think he'd really join my team. Later the same week, he actually did join, and everyone knew he had to go through the same hell LeBron James had to go through 6 years earlier. The whole NBA hated KD. Everyone lost so much respect for him, and I knew that now the Warriors are the most hated team for good. I accepted it, because what else should I do? I never changed my favorites anywhere and I never will. I also knew that it was almost an immediate championship. But this time, against the hate, I started to be as petty as the Warriors and the Cavs fans. It's the only way to counter hate. Nobody believed me since 2015 when I said I'm a Warriors fan, and now since 2016 I'm almost immediately a bandwagoner, Cavaliers hater, Curry dick rider, and so much more when I say I'm a Warriors fan. In the one season KD had in Golden State until now, we all saw a different team on the court. It was a bit hard with some still missing chemistry on the team, but towards the end, especially after the Spurs became the first seed for a night, they stepped it up, and perfectly when the playoffs started, the team was nearly unbeatable. KD became the Finals MVP and everyone hated him even more, but actually almost everyone wants to achieve what the Warriors achieved. They drafted together that perfect team and added another great player, and maybe the only missing piece when everyone is in their prime. To be real, they're playing my team, and to be honest it's crazy, but as a Warriors fan I love it. For the future I'm actually excited to see the same team plus Swaggy P and Omri Caspi. I project the Warriors to win 65 games or so and repeat. They win 2 games less because the West is even harder and they added new parts. I hope you understand me guys and know that I'm in no way a bandwagon fan. I love the Warriors and live and die a fan. Anyways, this was my NBA fan story. I hope you liked it, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe for some more NBA and NBA 2K content. Let me know what you think about that video and how I could improve my channel. Follow me on Instagram and add me on PSN. You can see everything necessary on the screen and in the description. I'm DB97 and I'll see you soon.